just to let you guys know you're being recorded.
Mhm.
And then Jay's gonna lay down the ground rules.
All right. So time to lay down the laws. And we're all right. So, hey everyone, welcome to the Blend-A-Log. And just to catch everyone up to speed, we're gonna just lay down some ideas of how this is going to flow. So, me and Shannon are going to be unmuted the whole time. The structure of the meeting is going to be first, we're going to have the intro. Then we're going to have any previous questions from the previous blend along. And we're just going to do that in the next 5 minutes. And then we're going to also have questions regarding this blend along as well. Next is going to be a session where everyone is going to mute except for just me and Shannon. That's going to be the blending session. And the fourth section is going to be any questions regarding this blend along once we're done. After that, we're going to have the after party and the wrap up. Now, there are going to be a couple rules for the questions. One of the questions is you can have your questions unmuted while you're unmuted during the first section of the questions before we get started. So that's going to be during the next 5 minutes, or during or once we're done with the blending. But during the blending, just leave yourself muted. You can also if you want to add some comments or any ideas or suggestions or anything else, leave those in the chat. You can do that while we're doing the blending. There's no issues with that. As for the voice chat, yeah, basically only me, during the blending, only me and Shannon are going to be unmuted, and yeah. So for today's blend along, we're going to be focused on tobacco. Tobacco is going to be the main theme, and we're mainly going to be exploring the idea of the different tobacco accords. What goes well with tobacco, what doesn't. We're going to be exploring note combinations, etc. We're also going to be exploring the idea of maybe creating a tobacco base, those kind of ideas, but it's mainly going to be focused all around tobacco. So my expectation is that we're probably going to be seeing stuff like, tobacco and vanilla. We're going to probably see tobacco and florals. We're going to be seeing tobacco and spices. So we're probably going to see a couple of the expected combinations, but we're probably also going to veer off and see a couple of other unexpected combinations as we go on. And not all the combinations might work. So we're all going to be learning this together. It's going to be a learning experience for everyone.
Everybody's learning all at once. Just to catch everybody up, Jay and I met on the Discord server and decided to collaborate on a fragrance that we released in, what was it, April? Did we release it in April? Yeah. We released it. No, it was March 21st, I think it was, right? Wow, you've got a good memory. Okay, so we released it in March. It sold out multiple times, 3 or 4 times now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so we decided we had this really cool process going where I have my own soap and fragrance brand, but Jay and I, the way it works is usually I'll come up with a concept and I'll put some mood boards together for a fragrance that I think we might want to explore. Jay starts working on the accords and the structure of the perfume and starts brainstorming materials, and then we get together. He basically directs. So I do all of the nose work, and he does all of the material suggestion and basically just conducts, and I'm the orchestra.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we do some fine tuning and stuff, and then we release the fragrance, and then Jay comes in and starts making suggestions for marketing and PR and that sort of thing, and that's how our process just works. So I just wanted to. Oh, there's JK. So basically, we're just letting you guys be a fly on the wall during our process, but also get to do some of your own blending, get to do questions and answers before and after, get to work on different accords and formulas together, and just all learn together. But the part where we do the blending, we do it just separate because that's our process. And then, yeah, we're just kind of letting you guys. Hi, JK. No cute. Hi.
I don't know if my earbuds are working or if audio. Can you hear me?
I hear you great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hello. Hey. So we
Hey,
were
JK.
just
Nice to meet you, Nick.
we were just
Nice to meet
catching
you,
everybody up.
Ah, my AC broke.
Oh,
The compressor blew out. So I'm hoping these stay fine in 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hot here too, very hot and sticky. Okay, so Jay, did you want to ask questions and get everyone?
Yep. So let's go ahead and take 5 minutes for any questions that anyone might have beforehand. Also, one thing that I want to post over here is that I've left the rules for how the blend along is going to work over there on the Discord. I just posted it right now. So check the other thing. JK, I know that you didn't join until just like a little while ago, so you missed the sort of rules and the structure of it. So I just wanted to let you know so that way you could kind of like see how it's going to be going. Basically, during the blending itself, that's where everyone's going to be muted except for me and Shannon. Also, just for everyone to kind of be aware of how the structure works, like the separation of like the responsibilities between Shannon and myself. Shannon is the creative director. She's the one who comes up with the concepts. She's the one who decides like, this is what we're doing. And then what I do is I take that and I start breaking it down into like, here's a list of candidate materials. Here's a list of like, this is the kind of base that kind of works with that creative concept. So she has the abstract ideas, and then I kind of make it into a little bit more concrete. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start paring it down. So she and I will go through that paring down process. Later on, what's going to happen is she's going to be doing the nose work and what's the name, and the lab work. So she's actually the one evaluating and the one actually doing the pipetting and all that stuff. Also, what's going to happen is I'll be doing the math and the research. So I'll be doing things like checking to see if there's any sort of if for requirement issues or whatever. I'll also be doing things like checking the dosage levels, basically checking unguentarius, perfumers world, so forth. And we'll be kind of experimenting as we go along. So we come up with our own proprietary, well, not maybe proprietary, but it's like we come up with our own recommended dosages that we find based on certain materials that we know are pretty versatile that just work. And yeah, and so we have that that basically our list of golden dosages, as it were, and our list of golden materials that are just like, this is the best, this is what works. Yeah. And so that's kind of like how the process works. Go ahead.
When we're done with this, are you guys going to be posting notes anywhere so that those of us with short-term memory loss know?
Yeah, so we'll be posting the video on the YouTube channel later on.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Thanks.
I record this whole session and then I'll be posting the full thing on YouTube, so you can go back and rewatch it if you have to leave early and you miss some parts. But also he will be posting notes in the other chat on Discord, so you can go back in there and you'll see people chatting about the session and stuff back and forth. But Jay is the ultimate note person.
Yep. I'll be taking notes the whole time.
I have a memory of a goldfish. It's gone in like 6 seconds. So I get you. I totally hear you on that one. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to start pulling some tobacco materials. Let me look at the notes from the last.
Yeah.
If you guys think of any other questions while I'm doing that, then
yeah, let's take 5 minutes just for anyone to have any questions. If they have any questions before we get started, just go ahead and unmute yourself. Let us know. Or just add them to the chat over here in Zoom.
Okay, real basic, I guess. Where's everybody at? I'm in Michigan.
Texas?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool.
In Nashville, Tennessee.
Tennessee. We got we got the South. We've got the Northeast. We got Southwest-ish. That's good. All right.
I didn't hear where you're from, Jay.
Texas.
Texas. Okay, gotcha. Now I feel bad. We're actually kind of cool here in Michigan today. We've got our heat wave out of the way for a little bit, and I think we're low 70s right now. It's quite nice.
Well, I'm actually it's actually like in the upper 60s over here.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, in my apartment, because I have the AC on full blast. Yes. It's AC is a long tradition here in Texas.
Yes, indeed. I bet.
95 and sticky out today.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
let me check what the temperature actually is outside. Oh, 85. It's not too bad.
No.
Bearable, barely.
Yep.
Thankfully,
On that border
it's gonna rain in 2 days and it'll go back down to low 70s.
Not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
At least we're not in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Close enough though that we've been getting smoke every week or two. We'll get like a big
Yep.
wave of smoke, and then
Yeah, Shannon was sending me a picture, I think about a month ago, and oh my goodness, the sun was pink, like hot Barbie pink. And it was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
yeah,
Yep.
very surreal looking outside. And then the
Yeah,
moon.
oh
crazy.
yeah, the moon was wild.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, we'd walk outside and it'd be like, who's having a campfire? Oh, the Canadians, unfortunately.
Big campfire.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
They're
like
up there,
it's
they're
like
up there burning leaves.
Maple leaves.
it just means that the maple syrup is just going to be like extra smoky this year.
Smoky,
Ooh,
yes.
yeah, there you
Actually,
go.
that sounds
Hey,
good.
I'm
so I'm just
hearing
putting
a
some
brief for a perfume there. Maple syrup,
maple
smoky. Oh,
smoky.
Let's
That
call it
sounds
Canada on Fire.
there's the name.
all right. All right, I blame Canada. Okay, so I'm just pulling some stuff here that I had in my notes. I think when we were first talking about tobacco a super long time ago, I've got caramel, I've got cinnamic cassia, cinnamic alcohol. Old
Vanilla?
Bonham was on. Huh?
Olabana might be good, but also let's get vanilla out. Vanilla, because it's like vanilla tobacco is a super popular combo. Jasmine, white florals with tobacco, also super popular. Probably coriander, cardamom. Let me think about.
Vanillin or regular vanillin?
Huh? Oh no, regular vanillin, not ethyl vanillin. I think ethyl vanillin is just going to be like powdered sugar, while the other vanillin is just a little deeper, a little bit darker. It just kind of fits that tobacco kind of thing a little bit better, I think.
I'm gonna pull out vanilla absolute too, because why not?
Ooh, that sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
Also, if you have anything that's chocolate, if you have like a cocoa absolute or cocoa essential oil, or if you have Chocovan, that might be a good idea because chocolate plus
That's Chocovan. You said coriander, right?
yeah, coriander, cardamom. I think cardamom would give it like a nice like pop, a little bit of zing, a good opening. Same with coriander, actually. Nutmeg might be interesting as well because it'll give like a little bit of cooling effect. Like I feel like nutmeg is more of a cooling kind of a spice, so it just would give a good contrast to that sweet and warmth that we get from the tobacco.
I'm gonna say fleur de coeur because
Yes.
aspect.
Oh, also anisyl acetate. I think that would be a fantastic addition, just to give like a little bit of a lightness, an airiness, a transparency, because otherwise the tobacco is just going to be like too heavy,
I finally got some this time.
Ooh, nice.
Did you? Okay, I'm gonna start writing these materials down, and then yeah, let's see. All right, so
We could also just try exploring like one aspect at a time. Like if you wanted to do just like tobacco and then florals, we could just start off with that. And then later on, we can move to tobacco plus what's the name? Tobacco plus spices afterwards. And then later we could do like, I don't know, tobacco plus gourmand.
let's just see. Let's just start with these, and then we'll expand from there. Let me. Where's my tab on? I feel like
I'm
Quick
just gonna-
question for you guys on methodology, doing something like this.
Mhm.
Do you, and I know I'll see in a few minutes, but can't wait. Do you use the beaker method or do you use the strip method or a combination?
You mean for blending?
Yeah, putting things together and going, well, that's good. That's not really good. Maybe if I add a
We
little bit more,
literally-
there we go.
We're so naughty. Me particularly, I literally just smell the caps next to each other, and then sometimes I'll use
Really?
a strip. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I've
we
never
have our
done
own
that.
method. So our method, what we do is we realize that it's like once you put something in the beaker, you cannot take it out of the beaker again.
Right.
So because of that, what we do is we realize that it's much easier for you to just like have your beaker over here, and then you get the cap, and then you can move the cap either closer to your nose or farther from your nose, or alternatively, you put just a little drop onto a little scent strip, and then move the scent strip closer or farther from your nose.
Right.
And the same thing.
That's
and
what I
as
usually do. Yeah.
And that way you save on the materials and it's a little bit better. And then also when it comes to dosing, we actually have methods, like 2 different methods for doing sub-drop dosage, and getting beneath 1 drop is so tricky. We use the toothpick method, which I came up with, which is that you get a little toothpick, you actually put it inside the little the bottle, and then what you're going to do is you're going to rub that little glob of drop onto the side of the glass to have it stick, you know, to the glass as much as possible. So you end up with the least amount of material on the tip of that toothpick, and then you actually use the toothpick to stir in the beaker.
Or
and that's how you.
It depends on how strong the material. If it's really strong, you literally just dab and in and out, especially if it's like something obnoxiously strong. But
yes.
yeah.
And that's how we do trace materials. And it's just, you're not going to get like, you're not going to be able to weigh it out very well, but it will be kind of, you know, fairly easy to replicate. And later on, as you scale up to like do something commercially, then you can kind of figure out what the actual level is. Also, you can just do like a dilution later on. And that way you can actually blend with pure materials and still be able to use trace amounts. It's a good method. The other method we have for doing sub-drop amounts is that you can get like a pipette, but then instead of using the whole pipette to get a full drop, you actually just dip the tip of the pipette into the material, and then you kind of rub it along the side of the beaker to get most of the material off, and then you have more than the toothpick method, but less than a full drop, and that way you can get like, you know, close to like 1/10 of a drop.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
we have like tons of techniques like for that.
I'm all ears.
Okay, so spices I wrote down. Vanilla is a spice. What's vanilla? Vanilla is a.
I would actually put vanilla in gourmand. Same with caramel. Yeah, so I would put all of that in gourmand, because for me, I think of vanilla not as a spice, but as food. You know, I know that spices are food, but it's like I kind of also see them as being like just more in general, you know, because for me it's also perfume, it's also just, you know, tons of other stuff. Yeah, so here's what I was thinking that might be things that we're probably going to explore with this. We're, aside from focusing on tobacco absolute, we're probably also going to have a couple of other materials that are going to make an appearance, like Cephalus and Tabanon, but most likely they aren't going to be the focus, simply because they aren't as nice or as versatile as the tobacco absolute. Tobacco absolute is just, it has the magic of its own.
I'm
Now,
gonna
your
say
tobacco absolute that you're using, is this pre-diluted? Like I've got a 5% in tech. Yours is pure. Okay.
I've got 5% in tech.
Okay.
Oh, you also have 5%.
Yeah, that was all that I saw on the website. But I also have tobacco key accord, and I have Tabanon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought you were using pure stuff, weren't you?
No,
Ooh.
it's always 5% though. But this is actually really strong though. Do you have this, Jay?
No, I actually got the pure stuff.
Oh, do you? Wow.
Yeah, but tobacco absolute pure is expensive. It's expensive, so
At some
just be
point,
aware.
I use such large quantities of this that I have to do the big diluted. Okay, so let me just write down some of the rest of this stuff.
Also, woods. I think we should also put down woods and musks, because I think musks are going to be a huge part of what actually makes tobacco absolute viable. You know, because we're going to have to like tone down the strength of it.
Yeah. Let me just sorry. Let me just create those categories, woods, musks, and then I'm just going to put a little floral section here.
Yeah. Wood, musks, florals, and spices, I think, are going to be the 4 main categories. I mean, we could also do like aromatics, but it's like rosemary and sage plus tobacco. I'm not really feeling it. It could be good, but it doesn't really seem like it work. Also, green notes like stemone, or 6,3-hexanol with tobacco. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to click, you know.
I agree. Let's see.
I do think, however, marine could be interesting. Like I could see ambroxan and tobacco just, you know, working beautifully together, you know.
hang on one second. You said jasmine, right?
Yes, jasmine is going to be probably the most important of the florals for us to use. Like jasmine, sambac, and tobacco absolute are just going to be like love, pure love.
All right, I'll pull it. Let's see. Okay, see if there's anything else that I can think of that might be. Okay, what about musks and tobacco? Musks and tobacco.
Well, that's actually something that we're going to have to explore. So maybe we should get out the 9 golden musks for this. Let me ask you this. What do you think about musk ketone? I'm thinking that musk ketone might darken it a little bit too much, might drag it down, but maybe smell it side by side. Musk ketone. Oh, and also, what's the other one? There's musk ketone and maybe celestalide and habanalide. And exaltalide total, perhaps. I think exaltalide total is probably going to be one of the better ones, and habanalide too.
Tobacco absolute is so sweet. If you want to play to the sweetness, I would do musk ketone, adenylide.
Adenylide could be interesting because that'll give apple, and apple and tobacco kind of seem like it would be like a natural pairing, you know? Like I would just think like, you know, like adenylide. Oh, zenylide could be very interesting because that has like a woody musk aspect that would be just beautiful. It would just give like such depth and such, you know.
Adenylide is a bit weird with it. Let me try zenylide.
I'm surprised about that because it's like I would think that fruit and tobacco was just like pure heaven. Well, I guess it depends on the fruit. Like, for example, prunes. I think like prunes and tobacco or raisins and tobacco. Go ahead.
So
I'm just thinking about every time I've gone to a hookah bar, what flavors they had, and what did.
Never actually been to a hookah bar.
it's usually
So,
apple.
Recommend it.
Okay, the zenylide is nice. I bet you that cashmere is going to be really nice.
Oh, cashmere would be gorgeous. So let's put over here zenylide. Okay, so so let me put over here tobacco absolute, and then we're gonna put zenylide.
I did like the musk ketone.
Musk ketone. Okay, musk ketone. I'm probably gonna think that we should maybe skip galaxolide just because galaxolide, aside from the environmentally, you know, unpleasant thing, I think it would just be like laundry musk and tobacco is just gonna be like it's gonna smell like grandma. It's like no, probably not. Probably not.
Okay, if we don't go overboard on the cashmere, it's nice.
Okay, cashmere. Okay, but
This
I'm
is
gonna
an inside joke because Jay goes overboard on the cashmere all the time.
don't overuse. Okay, so we're gonna limit it to maybe 4%, perhaps even 3%.
Okay, so let's see, what else should we pull? Any of the fruits that might go with tobacco, like nectarine or?
Nectarine could be interesting, but do you have anything that's more of a darker, like dried fruit? I'm thinking, oh, Simroxin. Simroxin could be amazing. Or what's the name? Simroxin. There's another one.
Fruit sec.
Fruit sec. Yeah, that would be good. Fruit sec. Let's see over here. What's the other one? Simroxin.
Okay, Simroxin, fruit sec. Fruit.
Oh, Kohenol. Kohenol.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was literally about to say Kohenol.
What is Kohenol?
Kind of.
Kohenol is it's sort of like smells like raisins a little bit. It's a good blender. I'm just thinking like Kohenol, Simroxin, fruit sec. If you have prunella, I think that one smells like prunes. Okay. Do you have anything that smells like raisins by any chance, other than fruit sec and the ones I mentioned?
It smells like raisins?
Yeah.
I mean,
or dried fruits.
Are you thinking like a balsamic kind of a smell?
I was just thinking, like, think about like a, like trail mix, but imagine just like the dried fruits that. Or think about like dried fruits and like Christmas,
Fruit sec smells really good with it.
Okay, fruit sec. All right, move the fruit sec up. Okay, we might also want to explore a couple of other ones. I'm thinking Exalted Light Total might be good, just because like I think the powderiness could actually be a good balance. But you would have to dose it really low, like 0.5%, with the Exalted Light Total. If you don't like it, it's fine.
Koinol's not.
No Koanol? Okay, we'll skip Koanol. Okay, what about Simroxin?
Yes.
Simroxin, yes. Okay, all right. So let's also think about. I think we might want to do like 1 or 2 more musks just for versatility's sake.
Okay, let me smell. Let me smell the Exaltalide next to it.
And the Celestalide.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, and Habanalide. Forgot about that. Habanalide.
Would you think a cherry blossom would work?
Yes,
The
Sakura Salicylate.
Sakura yeah, that one.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
because cherry and tobacco are like they
They're friends.
yes, they're besties, BFFs.
Yeah, that's nice. It lightens up.
Which one? Exalted Total?
No, Sakura Salicylate.
Okay, Sakura Salicylate. All right.
I did not like the Exaltalide.
Exalted skipped. Okay. What about Habanalide?
What didn't you like about the Exaltalide?
It seemed too earthy smelling. It was like
Mm-hmm.
pulled it into the
Okay.
Yeah.
Love
Like
that.
one of the things that that me and Shannon we kind of understand is that it's always like in almost everything in perfumery, not always, you have to think about things as being like in a sliding scale of opposites. So imagine that you have this farthermost extreme over here and farthermost extreme over here. Don't think of everything as just being like this half is masculine and this half is feminine, or that this third is masculine, this is unisex, and then this is feminine. Think of it as sort of like a sliding scale, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to land exactly on a specific point to fit your vision. So you have to hit on that sliding scale.
Makes sense.
Okay. I liked the Celestalide. I like ketone, Celestalide, Cashmere, and Zenolide. Let me smell Habanalide next to it.
My Celestalide recrystallized.
That's normal. I thought
okay.
Celestalide was solid.
It's a powder, right?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
It dissolved and then.
Oh, okay. So you actually put yours in the liquid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'd probably like heat it up. Also, do you have a stirring plate by any chance, or a hot plate?
I got one used and it ended up not working.
Ooh,
As
I'd
far
get
as
one
the
from
stirring
Amazon.
goes.
You can get one on Amazon for like $60-70. It's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, it heats up. That's how this melted in the first place. But
which one is that one? Habanalide?
Habanalide.
Okay, Habanalide. Okay, Habanalide. Okay, now let me ask you this one: if you had to choose like 3 musks, 2 musks along with Cashmere, what would you go for? Zenolide, musk ketone, Celestalide, Habanalide. What do you think would be like the best?
I think. Why do I have to only choose 2?
No, you can go with more if you want. Go for it. Whatever you think.
Are we trying to eliminate one of these musks?
Well, I'm just thinking like if we're gonna go making a tobacco base that's gonna be the base of our perfume, we probably don't want to add too many musks, because the more variables we add, the more errors that we might encounter down the line.
Okay, so if I had to pick, I would say the Habanalide just smelled really nice with it. The musk ketone added a sweetness to it, which was nice.
But
the Celestalide you can barely smell. So I would say I would do.
So probably remove the
actually,
Celestalide?
Huh?
So remove Celestalide?
No, just hang on, wait. I would do Zenolide, Habanalide. And then either musquetone or celestolite, but not both of them. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
And I would eliminate the cashmere and leave it for later and add it at the very end if it feels like it needs it.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so I'm gonna put don't overuse, add towards end. All right. Also, you said celestolite was no, never mind. I was confusing
Either-
if it's all
I would say either use celestolite or musquetone, but not both of them. Hold on, let me see which one I wanna do.
Yeah, I'm guessing that celestolite will probably bring it upwards, and musquetone will probably bring it downwards. You know, just make it basier, darker. But then again, we're going to be adding some contrast anyways.
If we're gonna have vanilla in there, then I don't think we need the sweetness. So I'm gonna say xenolite, habanolite, and celestolite.
All right, sounds good. All right, and then cashmeran, don't overuse, add towards end if it works. All right, and for fruity notes, we're having and blenders, we're having fruit sec and some cimaroxin. For flowers, we're adding sakura salicylate. Next question: why don't we go ahead and try like some other white flowers? My guess of what would work is going to be jasmine sambac because it works with everything, but we're going to have to be cautious on the dosage.
I don't think so, but I'm gonna smell it next to there. I keep taking the jasmine out of things and you keep adding it back in.
I just think that it just works. You might have to smell jasmine from afar.
Hang on. I mean, it doesn't not work, but it's not like
You have like Jasmine-4 or Jasmine Key Accord or something like that, or another Jasmine Absolute.
okay. So to me, the sakura salicylate smells better than the jasmine. I have this really strong jasmine soundbox, so maybe let me try like Sampaquita or Jasmine and see if that works.
Mm-hmm. You got Jasmine-4, maybe Jasmine-4 as well.
I don't have it.
Okay.
All right. Sampaquita. I have yet to use Sampaquita. We got it.
Methyl diantilate?
That could be interesting.
I don't think I have it. Okay, the Sampaquita made it smell horsey.
Okay. Probably skip that.
Jasmine tone doesn't work either.
Hmm.
I'm not sold on the jasmines, but
Okay.
the cherry blossom is good. And then what we say, fleur de coeur.
Fleur de coeur, I think that's just like a no-brainer, like that just seems like it just ought to work. Also, what about anisyl acetate later on?
So fleur de coeur smells a lot like tobacco anyways. Like it just smells like hay. So I don't know if we need this necessarily. What did you just say? What was the other one?
Anisyl acetate.
Oh, anisyl acetate. Yeah.
Anisyl acetate, by the way, if you don't have it, you might want to get it. It is just something that just absolutely works as a transparent floralizer, just good builder for florals. It just works, especially in fresh contexts.
It's not doing anything for the tobacco absolute.
Okay, well that's fine. Maybe let's think about then lily of the valley. So I'm thinking cyclomethylene citronellol and hydroxycitronellol. Sorry, hydroxycitronellal. We use the aldehyde, not the alcohol, when it's hydroxycitronella.
Let me put some of these away because my desk is starting to get a little bit crowded.
Totally fine. Hydroxycitronellol and cyclomethylene citronellol. Okay, these are just the candidate materials. So I'm only writing down what we are, going with rather than what's been discarded. Okay, so which one is that one? Cyclomethylene, or is that one the?
Hydroxycitronella.
Okay, perfect. All right, so you know that one works. Okay, what about cyclomethylene citronellol?
Hold on. Uh,
Oh, by the way, did you get the green mandarin? Do you have green mandarin by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I think that's one of the citruses that we might want to try later on. And mm, uh, yeah, I'm just thinking like what else? Oh, maybe berry floor. That one work or nah? If it's not doing anything special, or
I mean, it adds like a weird kind of note to it that I like, but I think I like the hydroxycitronella better.
oh, that's fine. That's fine. We'll just have that one then. What about berry floor?
Berry floor.
Oh, and Florosa. Oh, and rose, because I'm thinking rose and tobacco are just it's a classic combo.
Oh yeah. Sadly, I
Yeah.
have nothing that you just discussed the last
Mm,
3
You don't
minutes.
have any materials?
Florosa is also known as floral. So if you have either floral or Florosa, okay, well, it's a good one to add to your to buy list for future, things. I would probably get like a small amount because you're probably not going to use that much of it. But it's just a good builder in general. It's kind of like a PEA, phenyl ethyl alcohol, which is like a builder of roses. Floral
I've
is
got
just
that.
yeah. So I would probably get that, and also if you have like a Rose Absolute, that'd probably be a
Yep.
great one to like consider. The more roses you have, also Beta Damascone might be a good one for us to consider as well because Damascone is present in roses, and Beta Damascone is a fruity, woody version of one of those.
Got
So
that.
I would probably get that. I'm just thinking that we need fruits to kind of like give juiciness and freshness and life to tobacco, because otherwise it's a little bit too dead, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
Yeah, because the way that I like to think about tobacco is I want it to be alive. I don't want it to be an ashtray. Go ahead.
I mean, Florosa is beautiful. It's not doing anything with the tobacco, like they're not singing together.
Oh,
But-
it's good.
Let me try the tobacco, the Damascone Beta next to it.
What about the berry floor? Did you try the berry floor?
I didn't like it.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Again, the Damascone Beta, it's making it kind of barnyard smelling.
Okay, that's fine. What about the rose? So if you have any rose material and maybe PEA, that could be something that.
All right, I'll try the Rose Absolute with the Tobacco Absolute. Maybe that'll be good.
I'd smell it from afar. Rose Absolute is very powerful, and your Tobacco Absolute is diluted. Hopefully, it doesn't smell too soapy, because that's one thing that I absolutely hate in a perfume, when it smells soapy. I'm feeling that we might be able to try like what's the name?
It makes it kind of dark and wet and soapy smelling.
Okay, that's fine. That's acceptable. So we can skip it. What about orange flower? Like neroli. I'm guessing that'll probably be a bad idea because it's like neroli is like the king of soapy smells.
Iris.
Ooh, iris could be very interesting. That sounds really good, actually.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
Hang on. Every time I open that drawer, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, because you have the pharaoh, the spill. Yeah.
I took it out and it still smells like it. I cleaned it all with alcohol. It still smells like it.
Ooh.
I'm doomed. I should have never put my materials in the drawer, but it's too late now. Okay, let's see what iris smells like next to it.
There is an option that you can get. I actually have something in here. There are bags of activated charcoal that you can get that are good at absorbing odors. You can use them to like deodorize your car. So I'm wondering if you could get a bag of, one of those bags from Amazon. Put it in your drawer.
I missed all of that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so activated charcoal. You can get these little bags of like cloth that has like activated charcoal inside. It absorbs the odor. Get one of those from Amazon.
Okay. Iris is weird.
That's fine. You don't want to add it?
It doesn't really add anything. It's kind of doing its own thing, sort of like the Jasmine Sambach. It's like, hey, I'm over here and I'm really strong smelling, but I'm not singing. Okay, let me see. There's Piamosa.
Piamosa, let's get that. Yeah, that sounds good. Geranium, I kind of wonder if that's going to be good. I think not. I think it's just going to add sour.
Rose, if the rose doesn't work, then the geranium doesn't. I find.
Okay.
That's
All right.
a general. Let me see what the Piamosa smells like. What is Piamosa?
It supposedly smells like peonies, but I don't know what peonies smell like. So
It's nice. If you want to add a floral, I think Piamosa would work.
okay. What about Magnolia? I'm guessing Magnolia might not work simply because I think it might add a little bit of a sour note. But it could maybe add some lightness, because I'm wondering, like, Magnolia plus citrus plus tobacco, maybe that's good.
Let's see. No, it makes it a little sour smelling. It makes it wet and sour. I noticed with the Tobacco Absolute, it changes. It changes drastically next to what material that I have next to it. Like it's kind of a chameleon. Sometimes it smells really sour. Sometimes it smells really sweet. Sometimes it smells funky, like barnyard. It's a chameleon.
Yeah, I've noticed that it's like typically if something is going to make things sour, it's going to be like based on our experience, it's like geranium tends to do that a lot. Magnolia tends to do that a lot. Cephalus tends to do that a lot. Like those materials, just there's something about them that's like that makes smells smell acidic.
Yeah. Apple?
Could work. Get the Robert Tay natural one. I think that could be a real winner.
All right. Oh.
Oh, and maybe Manzanate. Manzanate if the Robert Tay doesn't work. But I'm thinking the Robert Tay will probably work.
It makes the tobacco smell even more tobacco-y.
That's a winner.
That's a winner. And then what did you say? A Manzanate?
Yeah. Apple Natural Robert Tay. Like the thing about it is, like, if Apple Natural works, I'm guessing that the Manzanate is not going to work as well, simply because it's like natural apple is going to be more complex than the Manzanate. Manzanate is one note, but sometimes, if the smell of apple doesn't work, sometimes adding one note just decreases the probability of error. But if complexity works, then almost always complexity is better.
What about things that kind of parallel tobacco, like Hay Absolute or Fluve Absolute?
What's the other one that you said? The second?
Fluve. Flouuvre.
Fluve. I've never heard of Fluve. I don't know much about it. If you have it, maybe you could try it, Shannon. Also, same with Hay Absolute. That might be a good one. Helianol could definitely be interesting because Helianol supposedly smells like hay, and I would imagine that it would be a fantastic blender. Helianol, Hay Absolute, and then do you have a Fluve or Hay Absolute, Shannon?
No, but hold on. It's odd, the Helianol.
Okay.
It does bring the hay out in it. Let me see. I have a bunch of stuff that smells like hay up here that I got from H. Sherwood. What did he send me?
One thing that might be interesting also is maybe Mirac aldehyde. Mirac aldehyde has a bit of a citrus, kind of like mandarin, kind of smell, but it also gives like a fresh air kind of vibe. So I'm wondering if it might lift up the tobacco just a little bit, just to give it some lightness, some breathing room.
That's interesting. Piri oil.
Interesting in a good way, or interesting in a bad way, or neutral, or
Good.
okay, piri. All right. What does piri smell like?
Just placed an order with Harry. Piri oils on my list.
Is it? It's
Yep. Isn't it kind of like Sichuan pepper?
It's got some dark vetiver notes to it, but light.
Interesting. Oh, you know what we could also do? Pink peppercorn.
It's almost like a creamy hay vetiver. It's like a
Creamy hay vetiver. That's interesting.
I don't know how to describe it.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Reminds me of vetiver, except it's got like a weird haze kind of a thing going on. And then something that's more perfumey smelling. I used creamy, but I meant like there's like a something alluring in there. Something sweet.
Okay. All right. Let's also put over here vanillin. What do you think about vanillin? Regular vanilla.
I didn't smell any of those. Hold on one second.
And maybe we could also do some spices as well.
Yeah, I didn't smell the spices yet.
I think that cardamom is going to be amazing next to it. Going to give like a nice opening. Oh, do you have a coffee by any chance?
I mean, I have a coffee fragrance oil, which is, you don't want to do that.
Okay, no, that's not.
Vanilla smells lovely, of course.
Mhm.
Let's see. I'm curious what the vanilla. I'm curious what the coriander. Hold on.
Oh, so you did vanillin, but not vanilla absolute yet, right?
Yeah. Oh, here, let me try the vanilla absolute.
I'm thinking vanilla absolute is going to be even better than vanillin. Because it just sounds amazing. Like, because vanilla absolute is supposedly more woody and deeper and just darker and just, a little bit more interesting.
It smells so good.
Okay, let's skip the vanilla.
Yeah, tobacco absolute and vanilla absolute are good friends. They like each other. Okay, coriander. I don't have very much vanilla absolute left, by the way. I just have a couple drops, so don't go crazy.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Actually, I'll look down there. I might have some more of it, but hold on. Try coriander. I mean, coriander wants to be a top note.
Well, I mean, it would have to be a top note, so that's one thing that we would have to consider.
Okay. Let's see. You wanted me to try. I pulled out the cinnamons. There's cinnamon, nutmeg, chocovan, caramel. All right, let me just get through those. I'll try caramel first. You hate caramel. This is a really nice one. It's a caramel from Harry's shop. It's like a burnt caramel.
Could be interesting, especially with the smoke.
I mean, it's lovely, but we would have to use very, very little of it. It's so sweet. All right, nutmegs.
We probably could skip the caramel then, because it's like, I'm thinking that it's like caramel is probably.
It's going to be a caramel perfume if we put it in there, because it's so strong.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking that it's just going to clash with some of the other notes, especially like anything that's like, going to have limonene in it. So it would just like kind of limit our options,
Nutmeg's too weird.
Nutmeg's weird. Okay, all right.
I got it all over me.
Oh, what about allspice and bay leaf?
Allspice. Let me try this cinnamon first. Cassia or cinnamon alcohol?
Yes, both.
Yes. The cinnamic alcohol is nice. It's mellow. It's a mellow cinnamon. So if we want to use that, that's definitely something that we could use. I bet you Cassia is going to be too sweet. Yeah, the Cassia is too sweet.
Okay, so cinnamic alcohol is in. What about like go ahead.
Along with the vanilla absolute and cinnamic alcohol are nice and mellow. They're playing like a complementary kind of thing. All right. Let me try the chocolate.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the vanilla absolute and the cinnamic alcohol, if they're making it mellow, that's gonna just help complement our work with the musks, and maybe we might not even have to add that much musk, which is good.
Choco Van, no. So,
Choco Van, no. Okay.
no, but good that we tried it. You said a bunch of stuff and I missed it.
Okay, allspice, bay leaf, cardamom.
Okay. Allspice.
I'm guessing that ginger might not work that well, but it could work. We don't know.
I'm almost out of my ginger. Okay, allspice. It might be nice as a top note, allspice, but let me smell the cardamom next to it.
I'm thinking that the cardamom is just going to give it like pop. It's going to give it zing. It's going to give it life. But you might have to smell it from farther away because it's like too powerful.
It's got a medicinal kind of a note to it, the cardamom that's not working with the tobacco.
That's fine. What about bay leaf or clove or coriander?
We smelled coriander already. Coriander was lovely.
Coriander, okay. Coriander's in, okay. Also, so I'm thinking ginger, saffronel, and Sichuan pepper as well.
I'm out of Sichuan pepper.
Okay. What about pink peppercorn?
Okay, now bay leaf is interesting.
All right, all right.
Okay, these are all just like maybes though, because they're very strong. I think when we
So then in the maybe category, we have allspice and bay leaf, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm running out of energy. Running out of gas. What else was there? Anything else? Oh, saffronel.
Yeah. Clove, ginger, pink peppercorn, saffronel.
No.
So no on the clove?
No, not on the clove. The saffronel doesn't seem necessary.
Saffronel unnecessary? Okay, that's fine. What about ginger, pink peppercorn?
Ginger makes this whole soapy.
That's fine. Pink peppercorn.
Okay. And then my nose is done. I need a break.
Well, I actually had two more. But yeah, we can get a break after this. Yeah.
No, the pink peppercorn is sour. So
Uh-huh.
it makes it
Okay, what about mirakaldehyde and Z11? I'm guessing Z11 will probably just be amazing.
Oh, Mirac. Mirac. Not Mirac. Stop trying to sneak aquatics into everything.
It's not aquatic. The way I think about it is that it's fresh air, not necessarily aquatic.
It doesn't go at all.
Okay, okay. So no mirakaldehyde, that's fine. What about Z11? I think Z11 is just going to be like,
Z11 smell good with it because Z11 smells good with everything.
yeah. Oh, and then we also have to do like, of course, the ISO super, etc.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. The Z11's fine. I don't know if it's necessary, but
All right, all right. All right. Now, do you want to just take like a, like a short little break, like an intermission,
yeah,
just to
let's
reset?
smoke a cigarette and come back.
Okay, okay. So let's give like 5 minutes for everyone to, get some water, stretch your legs, whatever, and then we will reconvene.
All right. Be right back. All right, darling. Chocolate cures everything. Oh.
Chocolate pretzel?
Yep. Oh. My dog is not happy up there. It's hard to eat on my perfume dust. It stinks.
Yeah, sometimes the smell of perfume does not necessarily lead towards the most appetizing of smells necessarily. It's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
So what I was kind of thinking is that might be interesting is we could probably do like if you wanted to break it, if you wanted to do something a little bit different, we could just add, like, create a sort of fruit and blender accord, and then we could make a musk accord. We could kind of like make it like break out the different accords and then add those to tobacco if you wanted to, or we could just do a regular process if you prefer.
I wish I could, but all my beakers are dirty, and so I only have like this beaker and.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry.
How many beakers do you have, by the way?
A lot of beakers.
Okay, I was wondering if you needed a bit more.
I had to make like 6 pounds of soap this week, and so all my beakers went. They all got dirty. But that's okay. I can never have too many beakers though. If you want to send me beakers, feel free to send me beakers.
I actually have several over here. One thing that I think that you could actually benefit from is I could send you let's see, I could send you what's the name of that thing? I have these 1 liter bottles from Pyrex that are used for storing perfume. And what you could do is you could actually use them to actually store perfume concentrate for the more popular materials that you have. And basically you'd have the advantage of just basically being able to macerate the perfume concentrate and just have it prepared in bulk, ready to go whenever you need to. And then you could just dilute it to whatever, you know? And then maybe you could send me another perfume later on. Oh, I know the ones, the upcoming ones.
Yes. Our upcoming ones.
Mhm.
Olympus
Mhm.
or Styx. Okay.
Yeah.
JK.
Yeah.
It's like the doctor is in the house. JK. Okay, cool. So tobacco base.
Okay, tobacco base then. The first thing that we're obviously going to want to do is let's decide what kind of perfume that you're going to want to do. If we're just doing like tobacco theme, what do you want this to be? More masculine, more feminine? Like, I'm thinking that tobacco probably leans a little bit more masculine. So if you wanted to make it a little bit more feminine, we could totally do that, but your call.
I'm leaning towards the masculine with the tobacco base.
Okay, so typically I do like 55 to 65% ISO super, depending if you want it more feminine or more masculine.
Let's do 65.
65. Okay. So we're gonna put over here 6,6500 milligrams ISO E super. All right, and then for Hedione, I'm guessing 1,000 milligrams of Hedione HC if we're going to do it more masculine leaning, 1,100 if neutral, and then 1,200 if you want it to be more feminine.
1.
Okay, we could also make it 1,100 if you wanted it just to be more floral, because it does kind of make up for the fact that we don't have that many florals.
Yeah, 11's good.
Okay, all right, and then after that we're going to have to think about like ambroxan. So, speaking of which, you might have to do a little bit more nose work.
I was thinking Settalox, actually. I don't know why it came to mind, but
yeah, but what about Grisalva? Grisalva could also be good. And then ambroxan, I'm hesitant about ambroxan.
okay, Settalox is a no.
Okay, no Settalox. Okay, what about Grisalva and ambroxan?
Let's see. I bet you Ambroxan's gonna be good.
Ambroxan is going to give it some shine, some sparkle, some zing.
Yeah, Ambroxan's lovely. Mellow, woody, ambery.
All right.
And then the other one,
Grisalva.
Grisalva.
It's the fancy one.
Yeah, Grisalva's the fancy one, which I'm rapidly running out of because I'm using it in everything because I love it.
Speaking of which, I think it might be a good idea for us to revisit some of our old fragrances and maybe do a remix of them in the future.
It's a little too sweet, so I'm gonna say the
Just the ambroxan?
just Ambroxan.
Let's do an ambroxan overload. Let's do 3%. I know that's high, but I kind of feel like, yeah, let's go wild.
So 3 grams.
300 milligrams, not 3 grams. So what we're doing is 6,500 ISO super, 1,100 Hedione, 300 ambroxan for now, and then let me look up what a good dosage for. Hold on, Guantarius, and then I have to find like tobacco absolute. Okay, yeah, where's tobacco absolute? Tobacco. Okay.
Could you post that in the chat? Could you post the amounts in the chat?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that, but yeah, I can do that as we go, but it's better if I do that towards, what's the name? I'm gonna do the whole thing at the end, of course, but yeah. Let me go ahead and
Put them in there.
tobacco, okay, tobacco absolute. Okay, so this is 10%. Man, Perfumer's World is not including the information that I am seeking. Why do they do this? Okay, so I am going to guess that we're probably going to end up having to do at least 500 milligrams of tobacco absolute, at least, and then probably we'll do like 50 of apple natural. Okay.
Let's just wait with the apple. Hold on.
Yeah. But I mean, like the whole reason for adding the apple right now is this. You said that the apple makes the tobacco more
Or tobacco.
exactly. And that's why I want it to be like we want to get the strength of the tobacco right early on, because otherwise we're gonna have no idea of how tobacco-y the fragrance is in relation to everything else. Like if we added the apple at the end, the tobacco would just
Okay.
overtake everything.
So 50 milligrams apple.
Yeah. For right now, but what we're actually going to do is we're going to do one drop at a time of the apple, and we're going to see where it takes us as we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, the 500 milligrams of tobacco absolute, that is not written in stone. That is subject to change very much because we're using such a dilution.
Okay. Sounds good.
Right.
We should. Okay. Apple natural. All right. So I'm just gonna start blending these. Okay, we're gonna start our blending now. Everybody wants to go on mute. I'll just Ezra, I'm gonna mute you just in case you cough or something.
I think because it says unfortunately, oh no, that's his name. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put over here tobacco base. All right. So let
Very
me,
exciting.
all right, there we go. So that's what we have right now. The I've updated the quantities, but again, this is subject to change. We'll update as we go.
Oops. I like it when I mess up with just ISO super because you can just dip back in and take it out.
Right.
It's like not a problem. Okay. Doing my Hedione HC now.
1100.
Thank you, Nick. We're happy that you're here.
I think you can use manzanate, but be careful about when using the manzanate. It is incredibly powerful. I would use the toothpick trick and try using it once, then twice, then 3 times, and you're gonna have to experiment because it's gonna be completely different for you. And in fact, I would smell the manzanate next to the tobacco absolute just to make sure that the two actually do agree. If they don't agree, skip it. Also, because we're going to be using the apple and the tobacco together, it's going to make it more tobacco-y. So if it doesn't work for you, the manzanate with the tobacco, then what you're going to have to do is you're actually going to have to overdose on the tobacco absolute in order to keep the relative strength of the tobacco relative to everything else. Also, feel free to change the scale that we're doing this at. Like we're doing 10 grams of fragrance concentrate. If you don't, want to do that, just cut everything by 10 or whatever.
I'm adding in the ambroxan.
All right, sweet.
Perfect. Exactly 300.
Perfect.
All right. Cool.
Right. Now, when you add the 500 milligrams of tobacco absolute, I want you to take it out and smell it. And I want to figure out if it's going to be predominantly the tobacco smell that you smell, or if it's going to be something else. Also, kind of swirl it around as well, because like we need this to be like more tobacco than ambroxan. The smell.
Just because I've blended a lot with this before, it disappears completely. So we're probably going to end up putting more in there, but we'll start with the 500 and see what happens.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want us to really hone in, because it needs to be predominantly tobacco. Like, that's the whole point of this fragrance. like figuring out what works with tobacco, what doesn't, etc. Oh, also, thinking about the potential for some kind of spice of some kind of smoky notes. Do you know anything that might be smoky that might be interesting, or
Tabanon?
maybe we could think about it. Maybe we
Okay.
could do toothpick trick later on, like towards the end, if smelling it next to the finished works.
All right, I'm gonna sip on my drink.
Mhm.
It already disappeared. I can't even smell it.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll do 1,000 milligrams then. All right, time to double it. And if 1,000 doesn't work, we'll do 2,000. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. All right. So you added another 500, right?
Mhm.
All right. Let's go ahead and check her out.
To raise the pinky.
Ooh, fancy.
I think we could go to 15.
All right. Also, let's go ahead and add 1 drop of the apple after you add the 500.
Okay.
We'll start with 1 drop and we'll see where that takes us.
All right.
Oh, and JK, for you, I would probably do like a toothpick trick. Just 1 toothpick trick at a time, and always get a new toothpick at before you just use a different toothpick each time you try the trick. And if you don't have a toothpick, you can always try like something else.
The pipette works.
Pipette works, but you have to be careful, and you have to like rub the pipette against the side of the glass wall to get as much of it off as possible. Yeah, so just be careful, because you can easily overdose, especially Mansionate. Mansionate loves to take over everything it touches.
Okay, so 1 drop of the apple.
1 drop of the apple. See how much that is going to be weighing. No, on the scale, because I want to see if it's going to be like 25 milligrams.
Oh. 20. 22.
Oh, okay, 22. That's fine. All right. Now
Let me
let's
smell
see.
that and see if what it smells so good.
All right. So is the ratio of apple to tobacco good, or do you think we can add another 2nd drop of the apple?
No, I would not add more apple. That is so strong. I can smell that. I can definitely smell the apple.
Okay, but it's strongly tobacco, right? Or do you think we should add another 500 of tobacco? Would you take it up to 2,000? Just add another 500.
Let's wait on that and add a few more ingredients. And if the tobacco starts to disappear, then we'll add another 500. But for right now, it still smells like tobacco.
All right, let's start by adding 200 milligrams of cashmeran.
No, I took the cashmere out.
Okay. Well, you said that you didn't want to overuse it and to add towards the end. I figured that we could add it right now, just because I was thinking, it might soften it.
I took it out because it didn't necessarily
Add anything?
Yeah, I wasn't adding anything.
Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and start with Zenilide. Zenilide, you said, was the most important one. Let's go ahead and add 150 milligrams of that.
150. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, let's make it 200 milligrams of Zenilide, and then we'll do 150 of Habanilide and 100 of, well, maybe not quite 100 of Celestilide. We'll see where Celestilide takes us.
200, right?
Yeah, 200 Zenilide. I'm thinking that probably you'll want to add more. I'm guessing we might want to even take it up to 400 afterwards.
Okay. We'll start with this and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then a lad. And then you said 150 of the Habana lad?
Well, let's first smell the Zenolite as it is, like in the beaker, and we'll see if, do we need to add more, or is it good as it is? Would you add more Zenolite to that? I wouldn't be surprised if you wanted to double it. Like, I'd be fine with like doubling, putting it up to 400. As good as it is? Okay, all right, 200 it is. All right, let's do 150 of Habana Light, and then we'll smell it next to the Celeste Light.
Hold on.
You want to smell Habana Light next to the beaker?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Can we do 100 of the Habana Light?
Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Habana Light has a tendency to overwhelm if you don't dose it correctly. It's totally fine.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well,
In fact, let's do 75. Let's do 75 of Habana Light just in case, because you seemed a little bit hesitant there, and yeah.
I'm just trying to be careful to preserve the tobacco scent.
For sure, for sure. That's the start of the show. That has to be front and center of everything we do.
Yeah. Okay, so 75. Well, 80. All right. Okay, and then the Celestalize.
Smell it next to the smell the Celestine next to the beaker, because I'm my spidey senses are tingling. It's like danger, danger.
It smells so good.
Mm.
It's that apple. That one drop of apple is just like, whew.
Apple, like I said, apple has a tendency to take over. It is a massively powerful scent. In fact, fruits are probably some of the most powerful scents in perfumery, in my experience. That and ozonics. Oh my god, they are just oof.
I don't think we need the Celestolite. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I think the Habana Light and Zenolite are like a
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Now I don't have any idea of how much fruit sec we're gonna have to put in here, so I'm gonna have to research that. Well, that go ahead.
Let me smell it next to the Simroxin and then the fruit sec and see, if I have any second thoughts about that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find anything over here on fruit sec, and I'm not finding anything. Viewers Apprentice.
Let's see if I have more vanilla absolute. Oh yes, I have a whole thing. Cool. We can go ham with the vanilla if we feel like it. Okay, let me smell the Simroxin.
Yeah, vanillin is one of those things that it's so damn cheap. It's amazing. Also, fun fact, I discovered this recently. Turns out that most vanillin in the entire world, especially those used in culinary processes, is actually derived from petroleum. So you're actually eating petroleum derived products whenever you have vanilla ice cream. So yeah, for all those people who say oh no, I can't eat anything that's not completely natural. It's if you've had anything vanilla flavored in the past 50 years.
Simroxin went sour. It does not smell good next to it.
All right,
So
it got cut. What about the fruit
Okay,
sec? Did you smell the fruit sec?
Not yet, hang on.
Okay. Sec. And then after that, we could try the Z11.
I mean, fruit sec smells amazing. It's buttery, just yummy, but it's I don't know if it's hey, it's tobacco.
Well, I mean, butter and tobacco kind of sounds like it could be pretty interesting together. And I mean, butter plus apple plus tobacco just kind of sounds even more awesome. I don't know. It's just I'm kind of thinking if you think about a cigar lounge, does it kind of, does it cigar lounge?
Smells really good with it, but it's really quite strong, this one, I think.
Let's
So-
toothpick trick. What do you think?
Yeah.
Toothpick trick? Traces. Okay.
Yep.
Traces. All right.
All right, we're gonna do trace. Just to see.
Mhm. In fact, I'm going to put traces in all caps just to make sure that everyone understands that it's like,
Trace.
yes. It's traces. Needs an exclamation point in there. You could probably just like dab it, just like dook, not even stir it.
I gave it like half a stroke. All right, let's see what that did. It smells so good.
Sweet. Z11, I'm thinking that we could probably go for like maybe 100 milligrams. What do you think?
So I think it needs the smokiness of the Tapanon. But again, I would do a like a
Traces.
quick, yeah, I would do a quick trace of it.
Okay, then I'm gonna put over here in the tobacco base traces, and then I'm gonna put Tabanon. Yeah.
That smells really nice. Okay, so Tabanon. Trace.
All right. And once you add the Z11, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and post the updated formula for everyone. If you don't have Zenolide, I'm not sure what you can replace it with. I would guess maybe ethylene brassylate.
If you have Habanolide smells really nice with it.
Yeah, we did have Habanolide and Zenolide, but he's asking like as a
Yeah.
replacement for Zenolide, and that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like maybe ethylene brassylate, but it would make it more transparent rather than woody. You might have to just like add ethylene brassylate and then up the amount of the isoe super to compensate. So did you add the Z11 or did you just add the Tabanon?
I just added a dab of the Tapanon.
Okay, got it. All right.
So good. Okay, Z11, let's see what that smells like next to it.
The Z11 HD, of course, right?
Oh yeah, I mean. It definitely warms it up. Let me smell the cashmere next to it, just out of curiosity.
That's fine. That's fine.
The C11 so smell like anyway, it's amber.
Yeah, it's kind of ambery, but it's so difficult because it's also kind of vanilla-ish. It's got its own thing going on. It's really one of those materials that every perfumer, I think, if you're doing synthetics, you have to have Z11 HD in your repertoire. You can get it from Perfumer Supply House. Great place. They have the HD version. The HD is superior to the regular version. It contains more of the desirable isomer. Oh, Vertifix. Vertifix could be interesting. The reason we haven't gone with Vertifix is that Vertifix is cedar, and cedar is the natural enemy of citrus. They're sort of like snakes and mongooses in that regard. They don't get along. It's sort of like foxes and chickens, you know. Just it seems like they would get along, but in fact they don't.
It's Vertifix gives it a sour leather note. It's not saying like tobacco to me. Okay, so how much Z11 did you say?
100 milligrams.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that I'd say like we could probably like get away with it because it's like it's gonna be a blender. Also, hello there, little guy.
Hi, there's the cutie. Future
Hello.
perfume.
Oh, do you have by any chance butter absolute or anything like that?
No.
So I was thinking like butter absolute with tobacco and apple, and it's just like, man, if we could find something smoky, it's like, that seems like it would be like perfect.
You're hungry for lunch. That's the problem.
No, it's just that I think that would just be like an amazing smell in general. Oh, also, if we could somehow get.
Smells so
Oh,
good.
I just realized something. You know what we could do if we wanted to make this even better?
Mm.
If you have oak wood, not oak moss, oak wood. You have oak wood tincture or oak wood extract, or oh wait, there's that oak wood from Perfumer Supply House.
I have Oakwood 50% in tech.
Okay, try smelling that next to it, because I'm thinking that maybe we could start pushing this slightly in a direction of whiskey, like whiskey plus cigar lounge. It's like, yeah.
It's so good.
Okay.
Nick, it was so great. Thank you for joining us. And I'll post the rest of this video on YouTube so you can just pick up wherever you left off, and we'll see you on the next one.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure meeting you all.
Nice meeting you.
Right.
Okay.
So you added the Z11 and it was good?
Yep. Okay, now we have Oakwood.
Oakwood, let's do 1 drop, because it's like it's a beast. It's also going to be more of a top to mid note, unfortunately. So it's not going to last all the way down to the dry down, but it should last, a fair amount. But that's the whole point.
Okay, you can't really droplet it, but I gotta like put it in there and swish it.
All right.
Let me just remove some of that. Swish, swish, swish.
Swishy. One thing you can also do is kind of like get the pipette and kind of like suck it up and then push it out until like it kind of blends. Hopefully that it'll do something.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, we'll find out very shortly if I put.
Yeah, and then maybe like swirl it. Yeah.
Well, it's crowding out the tobacco, so I would say we would do that extra. Yeah, we're gonna end up putting the rest of that.
Gonna end up what?
So we're gonna end up doing another 500 of the tobacco.
Okay, then we're going to make it 2,000. Okay, all right. The other thing that I wanted to ask about is you said so we already added the 100 of the Z11, right?
Yes. So what I would say for this is that it probably doesn't need much more ingredients, because it's starting to get away from the tobacco. So I would say like just a few more things. Otherwise it's going to smell not like tobacco.
Totally understandable. Hey, JK, so I just posted a link in the chat that is Oakwood Extract CO2. That's the one that I would really recommend if you want like the best oak wood. The downside about it is that it has a lot of solids in it, so you're going to need to heat it up, you're going to need to shake it up, and then you're going to have to understand that there's going to be sedimentation in your perfume when you use this. So get used to that, but know that it will be amazing. Yes, all the rainbows. All right, and I just posted the tobacco base, the renewed one. Also, we're adding over here traces of oak wood were added, but sorry, no, not traces. 1 drop of oak wood was added, but we believe traces should have been used instead. Hey, Shackner, how's it going?
Hey, Shackner.
Ambretolite. I don't know about ambretolite. Ambretolite is very powdery. It's very sweet. It could clash. Be careful when adding it. Just kind of smell, see if it's like, if it matches. If you think it does, go for it. If you don't think it does, don't. The thing about it is, our whole emphasis over here is like it's primary tobacco, sort of like a tobacco lounge, cigar box, that kind of thing, or just a freshly unwrapped cigar. or maybe like an alcoholic beverage that has like really strong tobacco notes. That's kind of what we're going for. Oh, you know what? I just thought about something. Why don't
So
what was it?
So the hydroxycitronellol smelled the nicest. Hold on, let me smell that again.
What about the Sakura salicylate? I'm thinking like if we could add the vanilla absolute right now and the Sakura salicylate, I feel like that would probably be like, where it's at. And then we could start adding the other stuff later on. So maybe 2 drops of vanilla absolute
Hold
or
on.
1 drop.
Got it. Okay, vanilla absolute, 1 drop.
You don't want to do 2?
Let me smell it again next to here.
Yeah, we can do like 1 at a time first and do like 1 and then smell it.
Because we added the oak wood,
Uh-huh.
say 1 drop of the vanilla because
Well,
they're similar in temperament, and if I can't smell it, then we'll add 1 more drop.
Okay. I was just thinking that the vanilla would soften the oak wood so much that it would kind of help alleviate some of the dosage that we added. Also, I'm thinking that vanilla plus oak wood is going to give it like whiskey kind of vibes, and then it's like whiskey plus tobacco plus apple plus butter. It's like, yes.
You're hungry.
Yes, a little bit, but kind of not really as well. I don't know. I just went to McDonald's. I just had like 2 egg and sausage sandwiches. It was good.
Good. Okay, let me just smell 1 drop of the vanilla, and then we'll see where that goes.
Oh, and how much
It's
did
Oh shoot, hold on.
Mhm.
It's
like
30.
22?
34.
34 milligrams. Got it. All right, thank you.
I would not put more vanilla in there.
Okay, so it's good right now as it is, right? Right. What about Sakura salicylate? Why don't we do 2 drops for right now, and we'll see where that takes us.
I feel like the Sakura salicylate, now that I smell it next to here again, it's nice, but hang on.
It's fine. If it's no longer as good, that's totally fine.
I don't know if it's jiving, but the hydroxycitronellol.
What about the hydroxycitronellol? Is the hydroxycitronellol driving, or is it no longer?
It smells really good.
Okay, so for the hydroxycitronellol, let's go ahead and let's do. I'm gonna guess 100 milligrams. Let's do 75 because I'm thinking caution.
Cautious.
Normally we would do like 350 milligrams on a freshie, but this is not a freshie.
Okay, so 75.
Yeah, 75. It's probably gonna be like 3 drops. I'm guessing maybe 4, probably 3.
You want the weight on this one?
Yeah.
1 drop is 30.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do 90. Well, maybe 3 drops. See how that goes.
I'm gonna put a half drop in there, so it's 79.
79, that's fine. Okay, I'll just round it out to 80. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. Smell it, let me know. We'll take it from there. And later on, the Piomosa for the florals.
I think any more floral is just gonna make it.
Too flowery. Okay. Well, just smell it next to the Piomosa just to be sure. And then what we'll do is I'm moving the Sakura salicylate over to the maybes at the end. In case we need to like retweak it, like redose anything, we'll do that at that step. Piomosa, yes or no? Or
No.
Okay. All right. What about spices?
Okay, so take out the coriander, that no longer works.
Coriander, you smelled it?
Yeah, take it out.
Okay, all right. The spices that we have left are going to be piri piri in the pure spices category.
Is
And
piri
then
piri spice Or I thought piri piri was a wood.
Piri piri is a spice, apparently, from what I'm seeing over here.
Really?
Yeah, it's apparently a Middle Eastern spice. Okay, no, it says over here, piri piri is a cultivar of Capsaicin frutensis, which is a type of red pepper. So think about like sort of like the Malagueta pepper or a cayenne pepper, kind of like that. The frutescens is one of the 5 varieties of capsaicin peppers. That's what I'm surprised that it's. Go ahead.
It's lovely. So is bay leaf. Bay leaf and that is lovely.
Okay, so I'm moving bay leaf back in then, because before it was in the maybe category. Also, what about allspice? Is allspice moving back in or no?
Hang on, let me smell the cinnamon first.
Cinnamic is in the that's in the gourmand section that I have right now. It's possible cinnamic doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it's making it into a cinnamon apple thing. Poivrel, that's a good suggestion.
Poivrel. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. I totally forgot about that one. Poivrel.
Where's my poivrel?
Poivrel. It's that French influence coming from the Canadian smoke.
Yes, I have some down here. Let me see. Pharaoh.
The poivrel, I would expect that would be pretty good. Like that, and the bay leaf. Maybe poivrel could replace piri piri.
No, the piri piri smells more like tobacco. Poivrel is making a blunt smell. It's a blunt.
All right, that's fine. So we have piri piri and bay leaf. I have no idea of how much of either we'll use. I would start with 1 drop of bay leaf and we'll go from there.
Okay,
I'm hoping that it's not too powerful. I have no idea though.
Oh, I didn't smell the allspice. Hold on. Sorry, I spilled a bottle. A bottle of Pharaoh leaked in my drawer. That's so every time I open it, it smells very green. Just in case anybody's wondering what I'm doing.
Yeah, apparently bay leaf, we're probably going to end up doing like, 1 drop or maybe even like sub drop level, like half a drop, quarter drop.
I feel like the allspice might smell more like tobacco-y than the bay leaf, but let me smell the bay leaf again. They're very similar. Okay, the bay leaf just smells like more medicinal, more like clovey, eugenol. The allspice is like, ooh, this is an aspect of tobacco. Like it's
all right. So it's allspice and piri piri that we have right now. So I would say let's do the what's the name? The toothpick trick twice with allspice, because allspice it's massively powerful. And I feel like, just adding that trace of like traces of allspice will just be like, just jazz it up.
How much piri piri?
I couldn't find much information on it.
Do you want to do the toothpick with the piri piri?
I'm trying to find over here information on it. Here, why don't they make this easy to find? This information is not that complicated. Piri, okay, piri. Yeah, let's do toothpick trick then. But we're going to use the toothpick twice for allspice, and then we'll try it once for the bay leaf.
Piri-piri.
For the piri piri. Yeah, for the piri piri. Yeah.
All right, so 1 toothpick of piri piri. That's in there now.
And 2 of the allspice.
For allspice.
Yeah. And cinnamic alcohol, we're just taking that out, right? We're not even traces.
Yeah, it's too sweet.
All right. Then the only questions left are going to be Sakura salicylate, whether to add that in, and vanillin, if we're going to add that at all.
Oh, it smells amazing.
Mm.
Like you want to drink it.
Yeah, that was kind of the goal. I was thinking like I want to make like tobacco, like almost like a boozy tobacco kind of thing with like a boozy kind of like whiskey kind of thing. Like as it kept going, it kind of like felt like it wanted to go in that direction, you know? I think we might have found like a winner for winter, you know? That might be like a wonderful like wintry fragrance. Also, does it smell boozy? Huh?
It smells like it's transporting me to like a bar with like oak paneling and like a cigar room and some like leather seats, and there's just like a glass of brandy in your hand, and like there's music playing.
Perfect. Oh, if you had okay, I'm this might be a little unorthodox, but if you have a bag of coffee or a little jar of coffee and you could smell this next to it, I would love your opinion on that, because it's like we could make this the perfect jazz club, you know, fragrance.
I mean,
I know you have the
I have coffee bean fragrance oil that I use in my soap sometimes.
let's
We'll just
hope
pretend. We'll just
Yeah.
pretend that it's.
we'll see if it works, but I'm thinking like if you smell it next to natural like ground coffee, it's fine. If it doesn't work, it could just be the fragrance oil itself.
It's overpowering the tobacco, so I'm gonna go ahead and say no on the coffee probably.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying like maybe if we can find like real, coffee essential oil in the future, maybe we could do a jazz club music thing in the future. The question now is vanillin and sakura salicylate. Oh, also, what's the name of the cherry notes? Oh, actually, I have an idea.
Okay.
Honey.
Hold on.
Honey is a material that we could use. Honey meal essence. The second one that we could use potentially is how about if we go for some cherry materials like heliotropin? Maybe what's the name of that one?
No, too sweet. So this is a buttery warm fragrance. It's just warm, like a hot toddy kind of a smell. The sakura salicylate is cooling and sort of bitter smelling a little bit.
Bitter, interesting. Okay.
It would take it in a slightly, it would temper the.
Well, I wanted you to smell it next to it as it is right now, because I'm just wondering if it still is like that, given all that we've added.
I literally just smelled it and just told you.
Okay, never mind then. Okay, so sakura salicylate is out. The only question left is vanillin powder. Do we add vanillin powder or no? Does it need the sweetness? Does it need the creaminess? Does it need that softness? Or are we good as it stand?
Already pretty creamy, but hold on. No, it turns it into an ice cream.
All right. All right, let me go ahead and put this in here. Okay, that's gonna be okay, so the tobacco absolute that we're using is at 5%, in TEC, right? All right, 5% in TEC. Okay, so if it's 5% in TEC, then that means that it should only be about like
Grams of actual tobacco.
that should only be like actually 100 milligrams of actual tobacco absolute pure.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now what we have over here is this is going to be this is 90 it's 92 milligrams.
I don't think it needs the sakura salicylate.
That's fine.
It's got a, like I said, it's got a totally different vibe. I think that's only if you wanted to like counteract what it's doing, this buttery, creamy, warm thing. But I like what it's doing right now, because to me it's like, okay, I get the tobacco.
The next step now is going to be to add what's the name? Is going to be to add what's the name? 50 grams of alcohol, and then we're gonna call it a day, bottle it up, and it's good.
Okay, let's do it.
All right,
And
all
then-
right.
We'll have a few minutes. We'll have like a few minutes to get questions or get comments from people. Okay, 50, you said?
Mm-hmm.
All right, darling.
And what do you
should-
want to call this? Do you want to call this tobacco lounge or cigar box or
I like tobacco lounge.
oh wait, no, it's cigar lounge. Yeah, cigar lounge. Yeah.
No, I like tobacco lounge.
Okay, okay. Well, because the name that they actually use for these places is called cigar lounge. Yeah, I got it confused in my mind. Yeah, we'll call it
Doesn't smell
tobacco
like-
lounge.
It doesn't smell like a cigar lounge to me. It smells like
Like a club. Oh, I got an idea. What about if we named it like something to like Havana, like Club Havana or something? You like that or nah?
yeah, I do.
Hmm. Oh, JK, I think you're muted.
Okay, we can
Yeah, everyone can
All right.
unmute. Yeah.
everyone can unmute. Let's unmute.
There's that famous Aramis Havana that exists already.
Oh, okay. Darn.
Fine.
Sorry.
But something along those lines. We'll figure it out. It'll be what are those forbidden cigars, Cuban cigars?
Hmm.
Let me fix this. See what this smells like. I want to wear this.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, let me get
I'm sadly missing too many things to make it at the moment.
It's fine. You can always
Were you able to any sort of like a variation?
Not based on the reactions to poivrol and pink pepper making it smell off. Yeah, I don't have allspice, don't have peri peri yet. And of course, apple I don't have, or xenolide, but I replaced it with ethylene brassylate, and I used raisin isobutyrate for the fruit aspect of things, just because I like dried fruit smells. But it definitely needs that allspice and peri peri for me, and oak wood, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the color of these.
I like the color. It looks beautiful. You said that's 50 milligrams right there of alcohol
Yeah.
added. I mean, 50
Yeah.
grams of alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess then it's only a matter of bottling now. That's it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make a little sample size for myself here,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then I'm gonna put the rest in this jar, just for safekeeping.
For sure. Oh, and I don't know, do you have any sort of like a little just self-adhesive labels that you have like laying around the house or something that you could like write something on it just so that way you can keep track of the bottle?
Yes, of course.
Sweet. Yeah. I really wonder how this is going to turn out on your skin. Also, Shannon, if you can ask your boyfriend what he thinks about this, because I think that would just be amazing to get a
He
guy's
hasn't been
perspective.
able to smell anything since COVID.
Oh, nuts.
No.
It's been like a year and a half now too. Everything smells weird to him.
One thing that I noticed that's really weird, like when I got COVID and I recovered my sense of smell, I didn't recover my old sense of smell. I recovered somebody else's sense of smell. It's like everything smells different. Does anyone else have that experience where nothing smells exactly the way it did before?
But that's what my boyfriend has. So he can smell things, but they don't smell like they used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, he's like, oh, something smells here, it's bad, and it's bad, but it doesn't smell like how I normally remembered it to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
almost like you get like a sort of like randomizer where it's like it's almost like everyone's old sense of smell got put into a box, and then it's like if you get COVID, you put your nose into the box and you mix it up and you pull out another nose.
Not somebody
like,
else's nose.
Yeah, it's I recovered somebody else's sense of smell.
Oh, I got my sense of smell back 100%. So I will be your nose. I'll be your nose.
Well, it's fine. In
I
fact,
ever lose my sense of smell, you can be my nose. We'll go back.
we'll alternate, and hopefully we'll just pull each other's noses out of the box next time.
This is a very sexy smell. I think if you added cashmere to it and maybe like one other thing, it would be like a man's fragrance.
Got it. Hey, I got an idea, an interesting idea for you.
You wouldn't need much to push it over from a base into just a regular cologne.
One thing that I'm thinking that might be interesting is if we got that, what do you think about adding maple lactone? I don't have that one. I'm wondering.
I don't have it, but it's already so buttery with the oak wood and the vanilla absolute. Like it's I don't know, it might be overkill, but
Yeah.
I've got maple on the way. I've got that coming.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
let us know what it smells like with the tobacco then in the chat.
Yeah.
Tell us.
I've got it coming. I've got it on the way from Harry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to put another order in with Harry.
Mhm.
Do you sell your fragrances, or are you just doing it for fun, JK?
I plan on selling them once I have them to sell. I've been doing this literally for less than a year. So
Yeah.
yeah. I'm working on 7 right now. I've got 3 that are close to it. One of them is actually kind of like a humidor smell that kind of came to be without many tobacco ingredients, which was weird, but it smells just like you do when you leave a humidor.
Lovely.
But yeah, finalizing those and just trying to figure out where to stop, because you can overthink a fragrance and try to perfect it until you're, blue in the nose. But when do you know you're done?
It's that's a really good question.
For beginners, like, people who've been doing this for years and have like, proper education and this, that, and the other. It's like, yeah, they know, but for self taught folks that are, still.
JK, do you cook ever? Do you cook?
Oh yeah, I was a cook for 10 years. So
when the food is in the oven and suddenly it smells like food.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's done because I can smell it.
Yeah.
The perfume does the same thing. You can tell when it's done. It literally just smells really good.
Yeah.
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 I'd also say like
yeah. And then it just announces itself. It's like, I'm done. Like it'll tell you just like food does. To me, at least. I don't know. I'm Italian though, so I cook with my nose.
I'm an 8th Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say like also it's probably a good idea to just think about it like this. Like when you're trying to make a new dish or a new sandwich or whatever, and it's like if you make it too basic, you'll know. But then once it starts getting to that point where it's like just needs a little bit, and then it's like, okay, now it's perfect. Or sometimes it'll be like you're making a good dish, like a good sauce to go with pasta, and then it's like, this doesn't feel quite balanced. There's too much lemon in this sauce, or there's too much too much tomato, or there's not enough of that savory note. So maybe it needs more meat in the sauce. Well, let your nose kind of guide you and tell you, like, when everything is balanced, when everything smells right, when it smells good, when you just feel right with the that's when you're going to be it.
Another thing that I noticed that really helps is when you're done blending, just leave it alone and let it this is what I do, because the tendency to overthink it comes when I'm too close to the formula. So what I
Yes.
need to do is stick it in a bottle. And then what I do is I'll spray it on a scent strip or whatever. And then I put this on my nightstand. When I wake up in the morning, first thing that I do is I go over to this bottle and I just lift the cap and I sniff the spray nozzle. I don't spray it. I just get a very objective, like you were in a store and you picked up and you were just like, what does this smell like? And
Yeah.
like I'm a customer and I can get the clearest view on whether or not it's done, it smells good by doing that. For some reason, because you're not too close to it, you're fresh, you haven't smelled anything, it's the morning, and you're smelling it as if you're a customer in a store. And for me, that's just like the perfect, and then I can tell immediately, I'm like, this is gonna sell. Because if a customer did that, that's the impression that they would get, So that's just for me. That's just how I do it. But I also sold perfumes. And so that's how I'm used to smelling them and evaluating them. So, but anyways,
Well-
yeah, you'll find your own process, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like one of the fragrances that I was working on, I did get too close to it, so I let it sit for a little while. Definitely walked away for about a month or so. Came back, did that little test, and I was like, oh, this actually smells a lot better than I remembered. But when I put it on the skin, it smelled great, but it didn't really last for more than 2 hours or less.
Okay, I'm going to give you a tip. This is going to help you a lot. One thing that you should do always, it's like don't do the maturation thing with perfumes for too long, because here's what's going to happen with maturation. You're going to be spending like a month, 2 months, 3 months between each trial, between each iteration. You're going to take forever. My recommendation, and this is just my process, if you want to iterate quickly, if you want to learn quickly, if you want to create great perfumes really quick and just put out banger after banger after banger, what you do is you stick with the synthetic stuff. Why is the synthetic stuff? The synthetic materials. Because they work, they are stable, they will continue to remain good for a very long time. Also, Shannon, if you could, I know that we've already kind of finished the perfume, but if you could put maybe like I don't know, maybe like a little bit of BHT into the perfume, I'd really think that will be good. And BHT is just an antioxidant. It's just a preservative. It will keep your fragrance from oxidizing, from developing off notes, etc. But yeah, so I would stick with tons of Isoe Super, tons of Hedione HC, tons of ambroxan or other synthetic amber materials. Use as few naturals as possible, and that in my opinion will help you a lot. Also, avoid terpenic materials, so avoid pine, avoid most citrus materials if possible. You're trying to minimize the amount, not forbid it, but you're trying to minimize it. Limonene as well. Those are the kind of materials that you just want to decrease a little bit. And yeah. Oh, and Shannon, the BHT, although it does have an aroma, it is just so minuscule that it's not going to affect it.
Okay.
Yeah. BHT is basically it. You just want to add like about 0.5% of your finished product.
How much would that be?
If we're doing 60 grams, so we're doing like 60 times 0.5%. That would be 300 milligrams. But I mean that might be a little bit too much for you to put into like the little bottles because you already closed it. So I don't know. I'm
not going to do it just now, but I'll keep it in mind. I don't have that much BHT left, but
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, basically BHT is one of those materials that you're going to want to get a bunch of. Just have a ton of it, be ready to use it, and don't be afraid to use it. Also, the way that I'd also do it is when you make these fragrance bottles, don't be afraid to be incredibly self-critical and look at balancing. You're trying to balance as many different axes as possible. Think of like sour to alkaline. Think about like sweet to unsweet, all those stuff. If you balance everything just right, you're going to find everything just right and create as many of those axes as you want between dry and wet, or between hot and cold. Basically, the more like think about the things that would annoy you in a regular fragrance if you're a buyer, or think about things that other people complain about. Those are going to be the axes upon which you're going to want to balance your fragrance just to the T.
Yeah. Finding that balance is definitely the challenge. Like doing these has definitely helped me with looking at the you know, the websites that have, you know, how strong a scent is and, you know, recommended usages on the low end versus high end. Sometimes you can't find that for certain materials, which is always like a little wrench that gets thrown in there, kind of like peri today. When that happens though, and there's nothing in the, you know, the IFRA guidelines about anything, what do you do?
Start small, add gradually, see what the material tells you. It's sort of like adding salt. If you don't know how much salt a sauce needs, you add a little bit, and then you add a little bit more until you find the right amount. And the sauce will tell you when it has found the right amount. Also, if you're not sure how much to add, just think about it like this. Material X, completely unknown. I don't know how much of this I should add. Compare it next to an existing material. Smell it next to lavender absolute. Smell it next to lavender essential oil. And then you say, oh, is this like really strong? Is this comparable or no?
Okay.
Shannon,
Yeah.
go
ahead.
Any thoughts, Shannon?
So soft and good. It's a very nice base.
So do you think it's a good base or do you think it's a good finished perfume? That's the question right now. Base? All right, what do you think would be needed to make it like a full-blown perfume towards the end? What do you think it calls for?
It would need one more aspect. So it would need to be tobacco and caramel, tobacco and something, you know. It's a little too one note for me. I mean,
it sounds like rum.
or tobacco and rum. Yeah, it would just need, or tobacco and coffee. It just needs like one other playmate to be like, oh, okay.
And Jasmine, you think Jasmine wouldn't be it, like Jasmine Sambach? Okay.
Leave me alone about the Jasmine.
All right.
All right. I have to run. So, and I think we're at the 2-hour mark right now. So. Baby. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna post this later tonight on the YouTube channel, and I just want to thank everybody for showing up and being a fly on a wall while we're doing our blending, and I hope you guys got something out of this. Hi! Oh my goodness, he's such a cutie. Such a cutie.
Elliot says bye.
Hi. A happy baby too. Very happy. That was great. All right, guys. I will see you. We're gonna do this maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you know. Whenever we have the time. And next time I think we're gonna do we're gonna work on a soft green accord. That'll be our next one. So if you want to start gathering some of your favorite green materials.
Leave them in the chat. Go ahead.
Did you already place your order, JK, with Sherwood? Damn it. Okay. I'm gonna try and get mango leaf. I think he has mango leaf, and I want to see what that smells like. It's a green one.
And then I picked the relaxed shipping, so I'll probably get it after the next.
All right, but don't worry about it. We'll play with whatever we have, but we're gonna be working on some green stuff next time.
Oh, and maybe we could schedule the next one for say, what do you think about the 29th? So the 3rd week from today.
It's okay for me. Let me see.
Won't be able to make it, but
29th. You won't be able to make it. Who is that? No. Okay. We could do August 5th.
August 5th. Yeah, I can do August 5th. What do y'all think?
Looking at the calendar right now.
Oh no, I can't do August 5th. August 5th I do weekend work.
Oh, okay.
I can do the 29th or the 12th.
I could do the 12th.
The 12th works.
Right. 12th it is. And oh, one more thing. Wanted to mention that the reason that we're going to do a soft green is because what we're trying to do is I've noticed that there's been a lot of articles lately and a lot of talk about how green is one of the notes that is really, really in vogue for the year 2023. So one of the things that I've noticed in perfumery in general is that green fragrances in general tend to be a little bit harsh, a little bit difficult, because oftentimes it comes off either too vegetal or it comes off too much like smelling like weeds, like just fresh weeds plucked from the ground, or it smells like, grass clippings, but in a harsh way and an unpleasant way. So our objective with this is to create a version that is much more pleasant. So that's one thing that we're going to be working on, figuring out how to improve greens and create what we call a soft green accord, where we remove the harshness, the unpleasantness, and just make it like really inviting, really interesting, really fresh, really natural. There's so many challenges with this, but yeah, that's just a teaser for the next one. So yeah, so it's going to be really interesting how we manage to figure out all of those obstacles, because it's so much stuff that we're going to have to take into consideration.
Just reading the chat.
Mhm.
I'm excited to work on the green accord. It'll be good. I love green.
It's going to be fun.
All right.
And I'll post all of this information, like the finished formula, over there into the thing over here, as well as lessons learned. So thank you very much for everyone for participating.
Stay cool. See you guys later.
We'll try. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.